Right. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, last class we have learnt. Okay, abstract concrete method material I have uploaded, but I didn't discuss complete details about abstract concrete method. Don't worry about it. Okay, I just gave you a simple idea. If you just declare the method, we call it as abstract method. If you provide body, we call it as concrete method. Yesterday, I started explaining from this point onwards. Compiler and JVM activities with respect to method calling statement. Compiler and JVM activities with respect to method calling statement. When compiler see method calling statement, compiler search for that method in the referenced variable class. For example, in the statement M1, M1 of I, M1 of double quote say, compiler is responsible for searching method declaration or definition. With the M1 of no pair, M1 of int, M1 of string signature, if method definition or declaration, definition means with body, declaration means without body is available, compile find dot class file generated. If the method not found, either declaration, definition not found, then compiler will throw error. Right? Then next point, what we understand, what JVM will do. JVM responsibility, find the method and execute. For example, in the statement M1, M1 of double quote C, if methods are called without reference, means dot is not there, compiler search for those method declarations in the current class in which we called. You call M1 inside example, method should be available in example. If methods are called with the class or object reference, E1 dot, E1 dot, E1 dot, then all three methods must be available in a example class with no parameter, int parameter, string parameter. Okay, then what JVM will do? When method is found, JVM send control from calling method main to called method M1, then allocate memory to parameters of this method, storing the past argument. Then further execute logic of this method and generate output. After method execution completed, destroys parameters and local variables memory, sending control back to calling method main and continue execution of the rest of the statements placed in the calling method main. These are the points we have discussed. And for understanding, I have given one small test case program. Class example, M1 string message, SOPL message. By applying compiler and JVM activities, identify calling and executing flow of methods from the test class. Now I want to call example class M1 method from main method. I should not call directly M1 of I like this. If we call M1 of I like this, compiler throw error. What is the meaning of this statement? Search for string parameter M1 method in current class test because there is no reference. Then compiler throw error. What is the right way of calling? I must use class name dot example dot M1. Then compiler search for string parameter M1 method in example class available. Then JVM sends control with this argument into M1 method available in example class. Second, always the first statement executed in method is what? Parameter. Parameter is the first statement. Method parameter created, value stored. Then logic executed, message hi is printed on console. Message hi printed. Control come back to the main method, the parameter memory destroyed. Can I call the same method again? Yes. Example.m1 by passing another value. Then what happened? Same story. Again control will go to the method. JVM algorithm again applied. Allocate the memory for parameter, store the past value, execute logic, and print the message hello. Control come back to main method. When control come back to main method, the parameter is destroyed. Parameter is destroyed. And rest of the statement available in the method executed, program execution complete. So you have to practice compiler and JVM algorithm already explained. By following above points, method definition, calling, execution, compiler and JVM activities, define a method with int float parameters in one class, call and execute it from other class. This is assignment. Explain program execution by drawing arrow lines and by allocating memory to parameters as shown in the previous program. What I'm asking, create a class with a method, what two parameters, int and float, int comma float, from M1, I value printed, F value printed. Then call from another class. Can I call directly by using its name? No, I must call by using class name. Okay, example.m1 of 10, 20.0, I commented, means it's a compile time error. Anybody can guess why compile time error? This example.m1 of 10, 20.0 is a compile time error. Anybody can guess? 20.0 is a double. But what is the parameter? Float. Double cannot store in float. Example.m1 of 10, 20.0f is compiled. 50.7f compiled and executed main end. How many times these two parameters memory allocated? 2 times. As many times you call the method, those many times parameter memory allocate. Finally, these are the points we have completed under method concept. What is prototype, body logic, signature, parameter argument, method name, return type, modifier, exception list. This is a basic creation parts. Then method declaration without body, method definition with body, calling the method. Here, calling method, called method. Calling method is main, called method is M1. Remaining parts we are going to learn the polymorphism chapter. Until then, just to hold the points. After this topic completed, I move to types of methods. Where I can create method, I can create method where, when should we create method? When we want to reuse the logic. When I want to reuse the same logic multiple places in the project, I must create method. Where can I create method? I can create method only inside a class. Can I create method inside a method? No. If we create method inside a method, compiler throw error. Why? Method is meant for performing operation to a class or to a object, not to another operation. Then where I can create method? Only inside class. Two methods you have to create inside a class. If you want to perform M2 operation in M1 operation, call M2 from M1. Okay. Then next, based on the place where you create, how many types of methods we have? We have 2 types of methods, not based on the place we create, based on how you create method. Without body, with body. Create method without body is called abstract method. Create method with body is called what? Concrete method. Concrete method again divided into 2 types, static and non-static. Next, so this is the diagram. Types of methods, abstract method, concrete method. Concrete method divided again 2 types, static and non-static. What are the modifiers allowed? Okay, all 4 modifiers. Abstract method can be declared as default, protected, public. Concrete method can declare with all 4 modifiers, and allowed execution level modifiers are 5. You need to by heart and remember now. In coming classes, every modifier we are going to learn a particular chapter. Then following by, we discussed about subtype methods. Subtype methods. Okay, concrete method, subtype methods. Based on accessibility modifier, private, non-private. Execution level modifier, static, non-static, and other execution level modifiers. Return type, void, non-void. Parameter, parameterized and non-parameterized. Yesterday, we discussed about, okay, abstract method, concrete method. What is an abstract method? What is a concrete method? Why abstract method? You cannot understand at this stage. That's why this topic is just provided. In abstraction chapter, you completely understand. Until then, you hold. But remember, there are 2 types of methods, abstract method and concrete method. Then you have to completely understand about static, non-static methods now. So this is the syllabus of static, non-static method. What is a static method? What is a non-static method? A method that is declared with the keyword static is called static method. A method that is declared without static keyword is called non-static method. Why static method? For developing logic, executing logic, common to all objects. Why non-static method? For developing logic common to all objects. Logic development is common to all objects, but execution is specific to one object. Deposit method, we develop logic common to all accounts, but execute specific to one account. Execution is specific. When you want to execute method without object, create method as static. When you want to execute method with object, create method as non-static. Creating method as a static method is not a rule, it is a recommendation. Creating method as a non-static is a rule, it's not recommendation, because it has to execute with object. What the rule in creating static method? Inside static method, we cannot access non-static variable, you know already. Class level, static variable you can access in static method. Non-static variable you cannot access in static method. What is the rule in creating non-static method? There is no rule. Both static, non-static variables you can access. Rule in invoking static method. There is no rule in invoking static method. You can call directly by its name. Rule in invoking non-static method. It must call by using object. In which case we must create method as a static. I told you clearly in two cases. Number one, for a developing for a developing mathematics based program. Number two, for a developing method with static variables. All your accessing variables are static. Object is not required to execute method. So for a mathematics program to develop, static variables based logic to develop, create method as a static. Creating method as a static, rule or recommendation? Recommendation. It's not rule. Sir, if I create mathematics based program by using non-static method, is there any compile time error? No. But at the time of calling, you must call by using object. That object creation is time waste and memory waste. In which case we must create method as a non-static. Inside method logic, at least one variable is a non-static variable you are accessing. Then create that method as non-static method. Sample program with static method. Addition method, subtraction method, palindrome number program, all are created by using static method. Sample program with non-static method. Deposit, balance variable, non-static. Then we have to create deposit withdrawal methods as non-static. Okay. Now this question, that's what tomorrow class. This 8th question, horrible topic, that is you are going to learn in tomorrow class if time permits, today only. Okay. Now this is the syllabus. Based on the static non-static method syllabus, complete detailed notes and programs I have provided. What is static non-static method? Examples of static non-static method. And go open how much time? Now sample program M1, M2, how to call them, rule in calling them. Next, I have two variables, static variable, non-static variable. Inside static method, I can access static variable, but we cannot access non-static variable. Inside non-static method, I can access static variable. Also, I can access non-static variable, no compile time error. Okay, I mentioned the point already there. So one small diagram for you. Static method can access static variable, static method directly. Static method cannot access non-static variable, non-static method directly. Static method wanted to access non-static variable, compulsory must use object. Inside non-static method, we can access both static members and non-static members directly. How is it possible? That's what tomorrow class, or if time permits, today class. That's a horrible topic, I said. Which type of method creation recommended and mandatory? Explanation given. And then one important point, combination of variables, method type. Inside method, we will access variable to develop logic. Inside method, only static variable you are accessing. Create method as static. Non-static variable you are accessing, compulsory non-static. Static non-static variable, non-static method. Parameter local variable, static method. Why? Non-static variable is not there. When there is no non-static variable accessing inside method logic, create method as what? Static. So that you can avoid creating object creation. Okay. And finally, one small project I have given here, if you can develop. Develop bank application to perform deposit withdrawal, balance inquiry operation with all these variables. Okay. And down, I given the programs, example class. Same, the slides as a program I given. Okay. Accessing static, non-static variables. The next, accessing static non-static variables inside static non-static method. Okay. Now after the static non-static methods, we learned private non-private method. Now what is the syllabus of private non-private method? These are the points. What is a private method? A static non-static method declared as a private is called private method, else it is called non-private. Why private method? When you don't want to allow other methods to access, when your method is a sub-operation method, perform operation within the same class from other methods, then we declare method as private. How a private method can be accessed and executed? By accessing it from another non-private methods. When we must declare a method as a private, if you want to develop a utility method to be accessed only within the same class other methods, we must declare it as private. Give a real-time example, alert method in deposit withdrawal operation. What are the statements allowed and not allowed inside a private method? All statements are allowed inside a private method. There is no rule on private keyword-based logic. What are the rules in defining and invoking private method? You cannot access from another class. Develop a bank application with private, non-private methods. Okay, this entire notes, this diagram yesterday explained, and the program, clear, detailed notes, whatever I am speaking, all points are given. And then bank application project also given. Alert method, alert method. Alert method is what? Non-static method. Private method I provided. Okay. With this, we completed private, non-private method with the project. The next, end of the class, we discussed parameterized and non-parameterized method. Okay. This is the syllabus I have explained about parameterized, non-parameterized. How much you tried? Remember, please try to tell me. If you are unable to tell, I will tell. No problem. What is a parameterized method? A static or non-static method that has a parameter in its declaration is called what? Parameterized. Parameter and very hard to visualize. Left side or right side? Right side in the parenthesis. Okay. What is a non-parameterized method? A static or non-static method that doesn't have a parameter, empty parenthesis we have placed, then it's called what? Non-parameterized method. On what basis we must decide param type, list and order, parameter type, number of parameters, order, based on the method operation. Okay. How other programmer can pass arguments? By calling the method based on type of a parameter, list of the parameters, order of the parameters. What are the rules in creating parameter? Parameter name should not be same. Parameter should be separated by comma, should not assign value. What are the rules in creating non-parameterized method? No rules. What are the rules in calling parameterized method? I must pass argument type. Tell me, argument type is going on storing in a parameter variable. If the parameter is of type int, what are the possible values I can pass? Call the method by passing int value, call the method by passing character possible? Yes. Call the method by passing long, not possible. Long is a higher range. So for calling method, what is the rule in calling non-parameterized method? I must pass argument. The argument type should be either same type or it can be lesser type, should not be higher type. Now sample project we have discussed. Look at this. These are the notes. Look at the M1, M1, M2. M1 method no para, should not pass argument. If you try to pass argument, compiler throw error. M2 method is a parameterized method. Should pass argument. If you call method without passing argument, compiler throw error. What type of argument? Same type, int, or it's lesser type, single quote A. When you pass lesser type, as per type promotion concept, it is converted to higher type int. Single quote A converted to 97 and stored in the variable. Okay, now? All right, these are all points. This is the notes part. Parameterized, non-parameterized program. All points with the clear rules already created. Assignment. Develop a program to add 2 integer numbers and print result. Those integers must take from other program. No param add method. Then hard-coded value 1020. Static values logic, bad design. Then method with parameter. Now it's a good program. Now I am calling addition.add. No parameter add, it is executed. No parameter add, it is executed. 2 times same result you will get. Now add of 10, 20. Parameterized method executed. 2 parameters memory created, past values are added, result displayed. Second time also called. Second method executed with past value. Right? These are the points we have completed up to last class. I given a revision. I requested you to write notes. I don't know whether you have written or not. Today, I am proceeding to the next topic. Everybody look at here. Now, today topic is, last class we discussed method with the parameters for taking inputs for method logic execution. This is the last class. What is written? Static void add of int a comma int b. Now int c equal to a plus b. Next system dot out dot println of c. Close this method. All people tell me, is this method logic section or this method is a right design or wrong design? Is it correct design or wrong design? Anybody can guess and tell me. Correct design? Paka? Why correct design? Justify your answer. Why correct design? Wrong design, Gajanan, why wrong design? Tell me now. Oh, I took second option. Question is given. Second option is wrong design. That's why wrong design. Come on. Is this method design right or wrong? First, you have to ask a question. Is it mathematics-based programmer, object-based programmer? Mathematics, adding two numbers. So, object not required. Declared as a static. Good. Point number one, right design. Second, for performing this addition operation, you decide your own values, asking user to pass values. Okay, you are develop the logic for the user passed values, correct design, super. Then third, after result generated, you are printing result, returning result back to the caller. What are you doing, man? Printing result. I gave you 10 rupees to you, asking buy one samosa. After buying samosa, you only eating samosa. Ray, I gave money, buy samosa for me, not to you. But what are you doing? Sir, samosa much tempting, sir. So that's why I only ate and okay na, not okay na? Not okay. Second, you went to ATM. ATM is, you ask the ATM, I want 5,000 rupees. Then ATM checking 5,000 rupees available in your account. Yes, available. Then it taken 500, 500, 500, 5,000 rupees notes and printing all 500 rupees on this screen. Okay, na? Deducted 5,000 from your account and printing on the ATM screen. The notes are not giving to you, not returning to you. Notes are counted, available in the ATM machine. You gave the input 5,000. You are expecting that 5,000 return to you, but it is not returning, printing. Then you take the photo of 5,000 rupees, go to hostel owner, show to the hostel owner, इधर देखो 5,000 rupees मेरे account में है. Then hostel owner prepare the food and take the photo showing food eat. Understand? Very important. You are giving input to the hostel owner to take the output what? Food. If he prepare the food and printed food on the screen, can you eat that food? No. So tell me now, what is the problem in this method? This method is not returning the result, it is printing the result. If it is printing the result, how can I use that value in my main method for next logic to execute? To execute next logic, this value is required. Okay, ATM should return money to my hand so that I can use this money for my next life, next point. Okay, I have to go to hostel, pay for the next 30 days of my living here. I need this money. If ATM printing it, I cannot use that money. So tell me, sometimes in the program, I must return the value. Okay, now write down program. Develop a program. Develop a program to return result from a method. Develop a program to return result from a method. In calling method, print that result. In a calling method, print that result. What is the topic we are trying to understand? Method with a non-void return type. Method with non-void return type. Returning value from a method. Okay, otherwise, topic is what? Returning value from a method. Here two conditions, 2 points. Number one, for returning a value or an object from a method. Object is also value, na? Value and one value. Object means what? Multiple values. The method return type must not be void. The return type must be either primitive data type or reference data type in bracket array or class name based on the type of value or object we are returning from this method. Second point. What is the second point? Inside method body. Okay, otherwise, for returning value from the method body, inside method body, we must use what? Return keyword. We must use return keyword. Syntax. We have two format for return keyword. Return semicolon for just returning method without value. Next, return value or object semicolon for returning from a method with a value or object. Two syntaxes. Return keyword has two formats. Return semicolon, return value or object semicolon. Tell me now. Here I am writing, for example, void m1 open bracket closed bracket cannot return value from this method. Int m1 what can return value? Which value can return? Int type or it's a lesser type value. Student, or you can say person, m2 can return what? Person class or its a subclasses object. Examples are very, very important. If you see a method with return type void, don't return value. Int can return, person can return. Now this int is called PRT. PRT and now here int is data type or return type? Return type. In variable creation, it is data type. In method creation, it is what? Return type. What is this int? Primitive. Primitive return type. Anybody tell me? Person? Person? RRT. Referenced return type. Referenced return type. Primitive data type. Reference data type. Primitive return type. Referenced return type. If I use data type with variable, we call data type. If we use data type with method, then we call it as return type, not primitive, not data type. Got an idea? Now, shall we write program? Clean the screen. Online students written. Now look, class, example, open bracket, static void. It can be a static or non-static, okay? Static void m, open bracket, system dot out dot println of double quotes m1. Everyone tell me, can I return any value from this m1 method? No. Close this bracket. Next, static void m2. Sorry, static int m2 open bracket. Here I am writing system dot out dot println of double quotes m2. Tell me, if I create m2 method like this, is it compiler? Not compiler? Bolo bolo everyone, compiler not compile? ఏదో చెప్పండి అలా కూర్చోదు సైలెంట్ గా కంపైలర్ నాట్ కంపైల్. లుక్ ఎట్ ద కోడ్ m2 head దాని తలకా చూసి చెప్పాలి. By seeing that expression you have to tell m2 left side type is what? m2 is what type method? Void method or non-void method? Non-void. m2 is non-void method. It must return int type value. When you see this method, what you should speak? M2 method returns int type value. Is it returning or not returning? If not returning, who will return? JVM return automatically. It is a method responsibility. When method say I have return type int, it must return value. If you don't write return statement, compiler will throw error. Now I am writing return semicolon. Compiler? What return? Return semicolon, returns value or just return empty controller? Return after any value there or not there? Not there. When no value, it will not return any value. Return semicolon means compiler throws error saying that value not there. After return, I should write value. What is the value? Integer value. Can I write single quote here? Yes. Can I write 5l? No. Higher value. This value should go via int. Via int what I can go? Int range value only can go. Now I am writing 5 here. So tell me, this m1 method compiled successfully and this m2 method also now compiled successfully. Tell me, return statement is mandatory in non-void method. Understand? Tell me, once you create method as void, non-void, how can we call those methods? Listen carefully. Little horrible points are there. Little difficulty, confusion points are there. Class, test. Generally, it is preferable to call methods from another classes, not within the same class, so that you will get clarity on many concepts. String, array, args. Inside main method, I want to call this m1 method. Compulsory I must use class name. Example dot m1. Allowed? Allowed or not allowed? What allowed? Why allowed? Why allowed? Sorry, why allowed? What is the meaning of example.m1? Search for no parameter M1 method in example class. No parameter M1 method available in example class. Correct. Now I am writing example dot M2 semicolon. Everyone tell me, is it now compiled or not compiled? Everyone should answer. Compiled or not compiled? Compiled. Why compiled? Not compiled. Why not compiled? Just ask a question. If you say compiled, why compiled? If you say not compiled, why not compiled? Some reason you have to tell. Simple. What is the problem, sir? Search for no parameter M2 method in example class available. So compiled, executed, M2 executed, return 5. What the meaning of return 5? Returning this 5 to the calling method. This line is replaced with what value? 5. You given your debit card number, PIN number, amount to withdraw. ATM is pushing 5,000 rupees to your hand. Take that money to your hand. Okay. Now my question, the returned value 5, is it stored? Is it printed? Or is it lost? What happened? Is it stored? Where? In your pocket. Huh? To store, I need some container, na? To store value, I need a variable, na? Did I use any variable there? No. I just call the method. Control went to M2 method, executed, value returned to my test class. Tell me, inside test class, did you assign that method call to a variable to store the return value? No. Did you pass the return value to print statement? For printing, SOPLN is required. For storing, variable is required. You didn't use variable, you didn't use a println. Then what happened? Return value is lost. Did you play cricket? Can you play cricket? Cricket, cricket. Hello, mic testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Will you play cricket? మరి క్రికెట్ ఆడతారా అన్నాగానే ఆన్సర్ చేసి సావరేంట్రా మీ దుంపలు దేగా యు ఆర్ దిస్ మచ్ డమ్మీ ఫెలోస్ will you I mean do you have a habit of playing cricket? Cricket खेल सकते cricket आड़तारा okay your friend from boundary line throw the ball to you to do run out, what will you do? Hey, your friend, you don't play cricket? I'm asking question, ra. Your team member from the boundary line has a throw ball to you. You are the bowler, okay? Then what will you do? Or you are a keeper, what will you do? Catch that ball and do run out here, right? Catch the ball, taken ball into your hand. Using that ball, next operation you are doing, right? Suppose if you don't catch, what happened? If you don't catch, what happened, Ravabu? Ball fell down on the floor, on the ground, sorry, on the ground, and run out is missing. Correct? Cricket answer cheyaru, Java answer cheyaru, em answer chestarra meeru? Okay. Now finally tell me, is this method call right or wrong? If I call non-void method as a single statement like this, is there any compile time error? No compile time. Compile successful. But what is the problem? The value written from that method is loss. No, I don't want to lose that value. Compulsory I should catch. For catching purpose, you should take one variable. What type? Why? Why int type? Because method returning int type value, na? Why you are thinking too much, ra? That's what I'm saying. If you don't speak daily in the class, when this kind of questions I ask, you know, int, why int ante inside you are feeling it is int, but reason you cannot tell. Understand? You know, if you go to any other state, which is not your native language state, you will ask, oh, ain't oh. Okay. Now, North Indians come to Telangana now. If you go to any shop who don't know Hindi, you are telling in Hindi, that other person looking at you, kya? Katham, kya? You know what to ask, but you don't know the language to ask. Same Java language, if you don't habituate speaking, in inter-idiom, inter-ask question, sahi hai, nahi hai? हाँ, सही है, क्यों? हाँ, ये ना, सही है ना, हाँ, है ना, ये है ना, नहीं बोलना है ना, है ना, हाँ? So that's why speak. And now tell me, can I call a non-void method directly as a single statement? Yes. Then what happened? Nothing happened. Method logic is executed. Whatever the message we are printing will be printed. The return value returned to the calling method and value is lost. That means this 5, can I use in the next line? No. Next point, very important. If I want to store that return value, I must take a variable of method type. Understand my statement? I should take a variable of what type? Method type. What is the method type? Void or non-void? Non-void. What is that non-void type? Int. Method type is int, that's why variable type is int. And I'm calling example.m. Compile or not compile? Compile successfully. This time what happened? Same thing happened. Again control will go to example class. Method logic is again executed. Value is again returned. Return to where now? Calling place. Now tell me. Now the calling line replaced with 5. Assignment operator is executed. Stored in the X variable. Tell me now. This time what happened? The return value is lost. Return value printed. Return value stored. Can I use this return value in the next line in the main method? How? How? Huh? By using variable name X, not by accessing. By accessing variable X, not by using, by accessing. Terminology, that's what. If you keep on saying correct vocabulary, you will get. Okay, now, next question I'm asking. I don't want it to store, I want to print. If you want to print, then I should write system.out.println. In the parentheses, I should write example.m. If I write example.m1, what happened? Same thing happened. Yeah, no parameter m1 method is executed from example class. Array babu, SOPLN M2 printed. The next return 5. 5 is returned to calling method. That means this example.m1, hey, no loss, Ray. This example.m1 is replaced with the value 1, 5. And the 5 and this 5 is given to println printing that value 5. And now tell me, can I use that 5 in this third statement? Can I use that 5 in the next lines of the code? No. I can use 5 only in this particular and only one line for printing, right? If you want to use the return value in the multiple places in your method, I must store that value inside a variable. So tell me now, a non-void method, how many ways we can call a non-void method? 3 ways. If I call in 3 ways, what happened? First way, as a single statement, return value lost. As a variable assignment statement, return value stored. As a SOPLN argument, return value is printed. Now, I am writing one statement. Is it allowed or not? Int y equal to example.m1 plus 15. Is it allowed? I am calling method as a operand in the expression. I am calling method as an operand. Up to now you have seen 10 plus 20 and directly literal you have used. Also you have seen variable a plus b. Now I am using a method call plus 15. Is it allowed or not allowed? Oh, okay, M2. Okay, sorry. Yeah. This is all M2. Typing mistake. And tell me, allowed or not allowed? Expression meant for what? Value. Expression required what? Value. Tell me, M2 method return a value. What happened? First, control will go to M2 method. Again, SOPLN M2 message is printed. Then return 5. 5 return to calling place. M2 replace with what value? 5. 5 plus 15, result is what? 20. 20 stored in y. Y variable contains 20. So tell me, totally, how many ways we can call a method? 4 ways. Number 1, as a single statement, as a variable assignment, as a method argument. Println is a method, and in parenthesis, if you call, that is called what? Argument. As a method argument. Number 3, as a expression operand. Expression operand. If you call as a single statement, method logic executed, method output is printed, value return, value loss. If you call as a variable assignment statement, again method logic executed, method output generated, printed, return value is stored in the variable. Next, if we call as a method argument or SOPLN argument, then again method logic executed, method generated value, method is generates the value, print value, return value is return to the calling method, gives to the println method print that value on the console. Then next, if I call as a very expression operand, what happened here? Method logic is executed, return value substituted in the expression executed with the return value, final result stored in the variable. Among all the 4 approaches, in which approach I can use the return value in the next lines of the code? Only in the variable assignment approach. Okay, now? Paka understand? Now, I am writing some statements here. Is it allowed or not allowed? Tell me. I am calling void method as a single statement. Any problem? Control will go to M1. Logic executed. Control come back. Now I am calling like this. Int a equal to example dot M1. Is it allowed or not allowed? What the meaning of it? M1 method return value. Store that return value in a. Hey, M1 is what type of value? Void return value or doesn't return value? Then tell me, this assignment operator will throw now error. Incompatible types. Void cannot be converted to int. This is what type? Void. Void cannot be converted to int. Next, tell me, can I write like this? Int b equal to example dot M1 plus 15. Is it allowed or not allowed? Not allowed, because this is a expression. Here value should be substituted. M1 is a void method, cannot substitute. Again, here also will get compile time error. Void type not allowed here. For the compile time error, void type not allowed here. System.out.println, I am writing example dot M1. Tell me, is it allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. Again, we'll get compile time error. Void type not allowed. Then tell me, how many ways we can call void method? Only 1 way. That is what? Single statement. How many ways we can call non-void method? 4 ways. As a single statement, as a variable assignment, as a method argument, and also as a expression operand. In all these 4 approaches, the return value will be stored in second approach, and we can use that value in the next lines of the code. Now tell me now, in this world, you are going to work with many applications. There are some application print value, some application return value. Bolo, in Amazon, you are calling one method called purchase. Purchase method is void method or non-void method? In Amazon website, purchase method is void or non-void? Why non-void? Why you are seeing me seriously? How do I know, sir? Void means what? Doesn't return value. Non-void means what? Return value. Right? Amazon, when you purchase a product, the product is coming to your hand or not? Records are not coming, sir. From the screen, how it will be dropped into my hand, sir? Ore, namaskar, Babu. It is not directly dropping, but after 2 to 3 days, it is coming to your home, na? That means what? Return only, na? Understand? Tell me now. When you, okay, there are 2 methods I am telling you. Try to think. Browse product. Void method or non-void method? Browse product. When you click on a product image, it is displaying the product information to you on the screen. Na? What is this? Void or non-void? Void. Printing. Void. Buy product. Buy product. When you buy product, done the payment. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, of course, from the screen directly will not be dropped, but back end, via back end with the courier department, the product is returned to your house. Na? Then tell me, then what is this? That is a non-void method. Okay, it's very important. You have to identify every button click is a one method on a website. Every button click background one method is executed. Okay, in core Java, you are calling the method from main method. In advanced Java, in websites, in internet application, you are calling method by clicking on button. Every button background is one method. That may be a void method or maybe a non-void method. Method may be a parameterized method or maybe a non-parameterized method. Depends on the situation. So you have to practice. Clear my point, right? Look at the notes part. A method whose return type is void is called void method. A method whose return type is either primitive data type or reference data type, class name or array is called non-void method. For example, void M1, void main. Int M2, non-void primitive data type. Double M3, non-void method, primitive data type. Non-void class name, string student. Okay. The next int array, double array. String array, student array. Okay. If you don't want return value from a method, we must create method as void. If you want a return result or object from a method, this method caller, we must create this method as a non-void. We must decide the return type of the method based on the type of the value or type of the object returning from this method. 5 we want return in 5.6 double HK string student object new student name of the class. For returning multiple integer values, int array, floating values, double array, strings, string array, student object, student array. The return type will not return value. Remember, many people are feeling return type will return value. Return type will not return value from this method. It is only meant for specifying the type of the value or the type of object returning from this method. From a method, a value or an object is returned by using the keyword return. Int M1 return 5. In the above method, in the method declaration, the int is return type. In a method body, the keyword return is return statement that actual return value file. The return keyword has two forms, return semicolon, return value or object semicolon. Return semicolon meant for terminating the method logic execution and return control to the calling method without value. Return value or object is meant for terminating method logic execution and return control to calling method with value or with object. The returning value must be either same type or lesser type of the return type. M1, it's a void method, no need to return value. It's a void method, return semicolon allowed. Because void means no need to return value, return semicolon. It is what method? Void. Tell me, inside void method, can I use return value semicolon? No. Compiler throw error, unexpected value. Incompatible types, unexpected return value, unexpected return value. Method is return type void. How to return? Okay. Next, I am taking return non-void method. Inside non-void method, I must return value. I didn't return. Compiler throw error, missing return statement. Okay. It is asking missing return statement. I am writing return statement, return semicolon. Compiler ko gussa aata. Re, is a return statement, return type is there. You are writing only return statement. This time what is missing? Return value. Missing return value. Okay. And then now what is the right statement you have to write? In return file. In single quote A. Now 5L not allowed, 10.5 not allowed, true not allowed, double quote A not allowed, single quote A allowed. So this is the basic idea about how to create void non-void method. In which type of method return statement allowed, not allowed, all the points I have covered. Then following by void non-void method execution. Now I created a void method, non-void method inside main method. The main method may be available in the same class here in another class. Okay. Now I call as a single statement allowed. I'm calling as a method or variable assignment not allowed. Void cannot be converted to int. Okay. Now I am writing system.out.println m1 compiler throw error void type not allowed here. Okay. Now I am writing. I'm writing what int I2 equal to m1 plus 15. Now here we will get compile time error. Here we are getting compile time error. What? Void type not allowed here. Two compile time errors. So a void method cannot call as a single statement, cannot call as a variable assignment, expression operand, and method argument. Now I am taking non-void method. I can call non-void method whatever the way you wish. Control 1, compile, execute. Look at there, M2. Tell me return value. M2 I call. M2 return value 50. Return value printed or not printed? Not printed. Observe now flow. Control go to M2. SOPLN. M2 printed. Return value return. You didn't store not printed. Return value loss. Next. I am calling M2 method as a variable assignment. Now what happened? Tell me here. Compile successfully and then executed. Return value is printed or stored? Stored. Come on, everyone explain. Again, control go to M2 method, SOPLN M2. As many times you call, those many times M2 printed, return 50. 50 come here, replace with 50, stored in I1. Prove it, it's stored in I1. Okay, print I1. Print I1, control 1, compile. And what is the output will be coming now? M2 and 50. I1 variable value 50. M2 return value 50 available in I1. Okay. Now I am calling, I am commenting this line. Okay. Or else let me delete this line. Now I am calling M2 method here. What happened when I call M2 method? Method logic is executed. M2 message is printed. Return value 50 is also printed. Two messages will come. Look. Now M2 message, sorry. M2 message, return value given to println method, println printing 50. As many println methods executed, those many times message will be printed. Int I2 equal to M2 plus 15. Any error or no error? No error. Okay. Now here M2 method again executed, M2 message again displayed and added and store the result in I. Here M2 method again execute. Now also we can use non-void method as a return statement call. This is little heavy. In the coming classes you will understand. At this minute this much knowledge sufficient. These extra methods are not required. Let me delete. Coming classes will learn, that is slowly you'll understand. All in one place your brain will be blasted, not understood. Okay now, right. I want you write this program. I'll show the execution flow diagram. Write as it is. Write down as it is. First program and then flow of execution. First write program boxes. Here I created M1, M2 main all in a single class example. That's why I'm calling direct. After writing, if you have still doubts, ask, I'll help you. Completed? I don't explain. Somesh. Last half an hour I was explaining, I have been explaining same topic. Now you are asking explain again. I don't explain. Okay, na? Next time be focused in the class and read the concept what I have learned today. Okay, na? You read yourself. What is the difference between M1 and M2 method? You try to find. Somesh, can you hear me? I don't explain because already explained several times. Okay, na? You read what is the difference between M1 and M2 method by your own and understand by your own and ask by your own. Don't ask me. Okay? Next time, listen class properly. Now we completed all 4 types of methods. Now I want you answer these questions. Read all 15 questions, and if you find any question answer you don't know, ask me, I'll explain. Tomorrow no holiday. Tomorrow college schools holiday, not institute holiday. Tomorrow Moharram festival. Okay, maybe you're expecting tomorrow holiday, sir. And no holiday. Tomorrow we have class. And tomorrow class, if you miss, take the break and join new batch. Tomorrow class, if you miss, you will not understand next classes. All next classes are depending on tomorrow classroom. Okay? Finish. A question, any question answer, if you cannot find, please let me know. At least whether I covered the question or not, let me know. Tomesh, tomorrow I will ask you. Your question answer you must give me tomorrow. Completed all questions? Any question you want me to explain? Question number. All questions, huh? Should I explain all questions again? Tell me. Explain again topic. I don't explain. You pay fees again. Rupesh. If you pay fees again, I will explain again. Why should I explain again? What is your problem? Tell me. Tell me, what is a void method? What is a void method? A method whose return type is void is called void method. What is the non-void method? Return type is not void, is called non-void method. When should we create method as a void? When we no need to return value. When should we create method as a non-void? When we need to return a value or object from this method as a result. On what basis we must choose return type? Return type and a data type. Primitive type, class name, array. Depending on the type of the value we are returning from the method. How can we return a value from a method? Return type can return value? No. How can we return value from a method? By using return keyword. What are the different forms of return keyword or return statement? Two forms. What are the two forms? Return semicolon and return value semicolon. What is the difference between, or what is the purpose of return semicolon, return value semicolon? Return control from this method without value. Return control from this method with a value. What are the rules in using return semicolon? Return semicolon allowed in void method, optional. Return value semicolon allowed only inside non-void method, and it is optional or mandatory. Answer my question. Can a void method be empty? Can a void method be an empty method? What is the mandatory statement should write? Somebody say no, sir. Void method can I write empty method, open bracket, closed bracket, empty, no statement. Can I create? Yes. Can I create non-void method as empty method? No. What is the compulsory statement I should write? Return value semicolon. What are the rules we must follow in creating void method? No rules. What are the rules we must follow in creating non-void method? Must return value. The returning value must be same type or lesser type than return type. What are the different ways we can invoke method? 4 ways. What are the rules we must follow in calling a void method? You can call only as a single statement. What are the rules we must follow in calling a non-void method? No rules. In all 4 ways you can call. Sample project, just a small program, just now we complete. Okay? And this is difference between return semicolon, return value semicolon. These are the different ways. This is 5th way I didn't explain. In coming classes, I'll explain. Among above 5 approaches, a void method can be called only in one way. A non-void method can be called in all 5 approaches. This is a program, and this is project that I have to explain the coming classes, object orientation. Let me upload material. All people write this program. Whatever knowledge you have gained up, develop a program with a user-defined method for adding given two integers and return result to the method caller. In calling method, store result and print that result on console. That's simple program. I want you only develop code, I don't help. In this question, what you have to do, everything I have explained in previous examples, part by part, combine all the parts. Completed? How many classes you have written? 2 classes. What the first class name? Class addition. Then what type of method? Static or non-static? Static. Void or non-void? Non-void. Return type? Int. Method name? Add. You're performing operation add, na? It's not a test case method, right? Business logic method. Add. Parameters. Int A, comma, int B, or int P, comma, int Q, your wish. Then logic. Int C equal to A plus B. Then print or return? Return. Close the class. Did I write any SOP inside this method? No. When this method executed, is anything printed on the console? No. You should print in your brain the flow. Next, class, test, minus. This is not a learning program or project. Addition performed by whom? Calculator. Cal C, open bracket, public static void main of string array args, open bracket. Next. What to do? I should call addition class add method. To call addition class add method, I should pass 2 arguments. I should read those 2 arguments, right? Did you read? You should pass your own fixed values from the main method, or should ask from the user. Then int A equal to integer dot parse int of IO dot read ln of double quotes, enter first number. Previous chapters మర్చిపోతే ఎట్లా? Should not forget previous chapters. Next, int B equal to integer dot parse int of IO dot read ln of double quotes, enter second number. Next, int C equal to I will add a? No, I should call addition dot add of A comma B. Then return value I should print system dot out dot println of, what do you write? C or result, whatever message you want, you write. This is the program. If you write program like this, then you will be getting good impression from the interviewer. What happened? Reading first number stored in A, 10. Reading second number stored in B, 20. Passing those 2 values to add method available in addition class. What values are passing? 10, 20. Then first parameter created 10, second parameter created 20, logic executed, C memory created, A plus B 30, 30 stored in C. Then print C na, return C na. C value reading from here, C value reading from here, 30. Given to whom now? Return keyword, 30. Then return keyword, return that value to calling method, 30. Stored that result in C variable. Now C memory created here with result. Then SOP in C, reading the C and printing on console. Sir, here parameter name AB, in main method also name is AB. I confused, sir. Yeah, what are you in confuse? Who asked you to confuse? In your pocket 10 rupees is there, in my pocket also 10 rupees is there. Then your 10 is your 10, my 10 is my 10. Why are you confusing? Scope of the variable. The variable created in main method is main method variable. The scope of the add method, the variable created in add method is add method variable. Should I take same variable name? Not required. Your wish. Any name you can choose. But I choose a same name to confuse you. As much more I confuse in the class, that much less you confuse in the interview. Understand? My target is what now onwards? Bolo, what is my target? Confusing you as much as possible. So that in interview you will confuse less. Zero confusion will be there. Enter any question asking, you'll smile and give answer. I know already this. My sir already confused me. Okay. This is the concept of non-private. All four methods are available in here. Non-private. No private keyword means what? Non-private. Static. Inter. Non-void. Repeat again. Non-private, static, non-void, parameterized method that return the result to calling method. The caller, by seeing static, by seeing non-private, he decided to call. By seeing static, he called by using class name. By seeing return type, he will call by assigning to a variable. By seeing parameter, he will pass arguments. Those arguments may be fixed arguments or reading from the keyboard and pass his wish. So this is how you have to decide, think and develop the code. This is a small bacha program to understand the concept. Going on in the next examples, next chapters, we are going to develop logics. Everyone understand? Paka? La karenge? Chapter is clear? In this chapter, 3 chapters are there. In this program, 3 chapters I have used. What are the 3 chapters? Object-oriented programming basics. Class name. Second, variable and types of variables, parameter and local variable. Third, current chapter, method and types of method. Those are the past. After object oriented, this particular object oriented programming unit I am talking. Previous unit, data types, reading runtime values, hello world program, keywords, those are all over. That unit 1 is over. In unit 2, what are the topics available here? Variable and automatically data type also will come, reading runtime values also will come into picture. So main topic, class, variables and methods. All 3 chapters, class, types of variables, types of methods, calling and executing everything clearly. I mentioned a small bacha program. So please try to revise. Okay, na? Really? In a coming classes, I will use these variables, types of variables, method types of methods very heavily. That time you should not confuse. Okay, clear? Next. Presently, are we developing programs? Are we developing logics? Where is logic? Show me. No logics. We didn't enter into logic development. Still we are learning only program development, object-oriented programming. Until object-oriented programming completed, we are developing, building the program. Until this house constructed, all 10 floors, interior work will not start. Na? When interior work will start? After 10 floors building completed, each floor is a handover to the customer. Then the owner come and started thinking about interior work. That interior work inside the method, what you write, that is called what? Logic. So this is logic colon int c equal to a plus b return c. That is bacha logic. Okay, I don't want to consider as a logic. Okay, I want to consider still as what? Building the program. Logic means conditions, loops, all concepts will come. Without you knowing, I have covered operators chapter. I have covered control flow statements chapter, loops, conditional control flow statements, conditions also I covered. But you don't know that I am covering. Slowly, without your knowledge, I am injecting those points. Suddenly when I list out all the points, hey, I know already this, right? I know already this, that feeling you will get. Okay, na? That's what my way of explanation. Without giving heading, I will complete the topic. Later, I will give you the heading. Okay. Now, today night, again requesting, please study void, non-void method uploaded notes and practice this program one more time in your system. In addition to this, I am also uploading one important topic called rules on creating logic. Rules on creating logic. Logic means what? Int c, return c. These statements are comes under what? Logic. Where are we allowed to place logic? Please try to read that slides. You will understand. In coming classes, anyways, I will explain. But before that, you please read and come. With this, we completed method and types of methods chapter. Tomorrow, we are entering into the most horrible topic of entire object-oriented programming. Tell me now, there is a MBBS specialist doctors. Among all your body parts, which specialist doctor is having more weightage? Heart specialist and brain specialist. Heart and brain are the most important of your body. Tomorrow I am going to teach you heart. Up to now, I build the body completed. Now I have to attach heart to your body, nervous system and all I have to start creating. So for that, tomorrow class is very important. Sir, when brain starts, sir? Brain will start with the operators and control flow statement logic. Brain is a logical unit, na? It is thinking. Heart doesn't think anything. You love her, fall in love. You don't love her, commit suicide. And the only heart is saying good do bad, but it doesn't have any thought process. But brain is having good thought process. That is logic. Coming classes. So tomorrow class, we are learning very important topic. Don't miss tomorrow class. If you miss tomorrow class, next class is one word also you will not understand. Okay? Don't miss tomorrow class. Thank you. Good night.